Hey stars, it's me, Charter Star, and I'm back. I hope you guys had a great, blessed, safe Christmas. Um, this episode is going to be a story time about my Christmas. I had a very weird, very strange Christmas, um, and I'm going to tell you about it. Um, okay, let's start with this. Let's start at the weekend before Christmas, okay? So on Friday, I left my home, ran some errands, returned home. That was it. Then on Saturday, we had plans to go for pedicures, manicures, reflexology, and massages. But when we woke up on Saturday morning here in New Jersey, we woke up to snow and more snow than they had predicted. It was enough snow to shovel. So once we got up and got out there and shoveled the snow, I just didn't feel like going to nowhere and being bothered with no people. So we canceled it for another time, right? So um, as the morning went on, the snow stopped and things started to clear up. So my partner, he says, well, I'm going to go out to the mall and finish off some last minute Christmas shopping, some things. Okay. Now, mind you, he also had told me that he had made reservations at a restaurant that he wanted me, him and I, and we invited my cousin, who's more like my sister, and her husband, who's the bishop. She's the first lady, he's the bishop, Latoya. So, so we already knew we didn't have to go food shopping for Christmas. We weren't cooking at home. We were going out to dinner with the family. And just to give you a little more, my cousin lost her mom this year. So this was going to be her first Christmas without her mom. And that was very sentimental and very important to me because I lost my mom in 2008 and I lost my grandmother in 2002. So I completely understand. And it's different when it's your parents. It's not a friend. It's not someone you knew. It's your mom. It's your dad. So when it's your immediate family and especially your parents, Christmas becomes different. So I wanted to be there to support her and whatever it was. So that was great. So he went out, ran his errands, came home on Saturday. That was it. The moral of the story is we never left the house again until I attempted on Tuesday morning, which was Christmas Eve. So the whole weekend we stayed in. We are very much homebodies. You don't find that we go out to dinner pretty often and we have groups of friends that we get together with, but we spend a lot of time at home. We spend a lot of time together and at home and just doing things. Um, so on Tuesday morning, I get up and I said, you know what? Okay, it's Christmas Eve. Let me go do some banking, do some things, run a little errands because the next day is Christmas and blah, blah, blah. Well, I tell my partner, I said, listen, I need your car keys because you parked your car here on Saturday, which nobody has left. You're the first in the driveway. I'm just going to take your car. I'm not, going to go about moving around things. So he went to give me his keys. He didn't have the key fob for his key. He had the key that goes into the key fob, but not the electronic part of it. Somehow, what they do disconnect, but somehow it disconnected and he lost the electronic part. Well, for this car, we only had one key fob. Never had a problem. We've been together 15 years. We have never lost a key to a house, to a car, anything. So it wasn't on our mind. Okay. So we're searching, we're tearing up the house because, again, in my mind, I'm saying he had to have his key when he left the mall because he drove home. When he parked his car in the driveway, he had to have his keys to lock up the car and to do things. So he had to lose the key anywhere between the car and the back door. Well, that's not like boom boom. You have to walk through the backyard to get to the back door. So, you know, so, but mind you, it had snowed and there still was snow out. So I'm out there shuffling, kicking the snow, trying to see where could he have, because none of it makes sense. This has never happened. I'm like, he's upset. I'm upset. I'm like, listen, this has changed everything. We can't get any cars out of the driveway. And we have a dinner appointment, reservation. Can't do it. So I called my cousin. I told her the situation. Her husband, the bishop, attempted to send us help, but come to find out they couldn't even help us with this type of BMW. as far as them programming fob, this car needed to be at BMW, where there are some that they can come and program, or if it's BMW, they can come and program. But outside authorized dealers, they don't have the machinery that BMW has. Okay, well, that couldn't help. So I said, I got a good idea. I said, you know what? Um, Mind you, at this point, it's because we had tore the house up. We realized there was no key around 11, between 11 and 12. We tore the house up for the next 2 hours. I mean, I'm looking in shoes, I'm looking in cupboards, and he's like, why would it be there? I'm like, none of this makes sense. So now you have to go outside the box and just know that you can bend over a garbage can to put garbage in and your key could fall in there. You don't know. So at this point, you have to start just go straight out the box and just try to figure it out. So nothing. So I said, well, let's call AAA as if because if our car was broke down here, they would have to tow my car from here to BMW. So I'm going to call them. I want them to tow my car out of the driveway onto the street so we can get the other cars and then bring it back. And then we'll deal with the key thing. But right now, it's just stopping everything. And the first tow truck, I waited about 2.5 hours for AAA. When they arrived, it wasn't it was a flatbed, but they didn't have I forgot what they call it, but it's something for the wheels where when your car is all-wheel drive, they can't drag it and because we had the key to get in the car, but we couldn't start the car because it's push start. But you got to have your key fob. So it just didn't work. They told me they didn't have the wheels to put on it. So I said, okay, fine. So he said, so at this point, it's still like, yeah, might be about 6 o'clock. Let's say 5. Let's say this. Yeah, because I was worried about the first one coming in and it being dark. And it gets dark between 4:30. So it was about 6 o'clock. So I went back on AAA's website, put everything. And he said, make sure you put into the notes that you need will something. But anyway, I put it in the thing. I waited another 2.5 to 3 hours for that tow truck to come. And guess what? When the tow truck came, they still didn't have the equipment that was needed to tow my car. So at this point, I just lost my mind. I was over it. I didn't understand. I felt like something was going on. This had to be a practical joke. Like how losing one key fob and have multiple cars would ruin your complete holiday. Well, let it be the first car in your driveway and you can't get out. It can ruin it all. So I did that. They came, they still couldn't do it. At this time, we're just like over it. My partner's on the phone with AAA, like, why do you keep sending sending the tow trucks here? That's not what we need for the car. They needed to put these wheels on our back wheels, and then the car pulls it up to the flatbed, and they put your car. They're not going to drag your car down the street. Your wheels are locked. So nothing. So at this point, it's late. And Leighton is he's on the phone with them, just going off, and they're apologizing, but also reminding us it's Christmas Eve. So, it's availability, it's whatever. We're not trying to hear that, but it is what it is. At this point, I'm over it. I go to bed. It's about 11 o'clock. I'm going to bed. So I call my cousin, let her know that more than likely it's not going to happen. Well, in the morning, on Christmas morning, apparently my partner received a message from BMW that they were sending, from AAA, that they were sending the correct truck. So guess what? They did send the correct truck. So I would say he did everything he needed to do. He got the car out. I did what I needed to do. He put the car back. Okay. But still, BMW had already told my partner they wouldn't be able to program another key until Thursday. So we're now on Christmas, which is Wednesday. So it's like, okay. So I was like, what, the car, I'm still trying to save the day. I'm like, okay, you know what? The car's been sitting here since Friday. It's a mess. It's snowed and everything. I took my car to the car wash. She said, oh, the car washes aren't going to be open. Every car wash was open. Okay. Got my car washed, came back home. But the mood was already just like down in the dumps. And we have a very special couple their family that we spent a lot of time with. They had reservations for the Baccarat. hotel in Manhattan for dinner. So they were like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Come with us to dinner. We'll pick you up. They only live like 10 minutes away from me. So they were like, we'll pick you up and then no problem. But me and my partner understands time and what relationships take. And they just got married a few months ago. And this would be their first Christmas as a married couple. So I don't want to interrupt that. I want that to be everything that you wanted it to be. I want you, if you're just staring in each other's eyes and whatever, do all of that. So we declined the baccarat. Okay. So um, my husband, he decided to try to savor the day. He orders some. We wanted some finger foods. We didn't want anything crazy at this point because we like to cook. We really like to cook a lot. So we got some chicken wings and french fries. I'm being really honest with you. From one of our favorite spots. So it's fine. I know it sounds a little ghetto, but that's what it was. It was nothing else for us to do. Lucky for us, we had food in the house. We wouldn't go hungry. There was stuff to drink and stuff, but it wasn't anything for Christmas dinner. Okay. So we did that. Christmas was just, and I was somewhat depressed because I really wanted to spend time with my cousin, with it being her first Christmas without a mom. That bothered me a lot. And I spoke to my cousin. She told me, you know what? Maybe there's a reason all of this is happening. Maybe God does not want us out there on them streets or on them roads. I listened to what she said. She's a first lady. So, of course, they're going to always give you some encouraging words, but I wasn't really trying to hear it. But it stayed with me. Okay. Then I spoke to two other friends, and these are people that have not spoken to each other. Some of them don't even know each other. They said, maybe you need to stay home, or maybe there's a reason because we couldn't figure out how you can lose a key fob from the driveway to the back door. It was just weird. Okay. So um, at this point, that's what we did. Christmas was very solemn. It was very quiet. As the day went on, we loosened up and began to talk and enjoy the day just ourselves and watching movies or whatever. But it wasn't what we were planning. So we were very thoroughly disappointed. Okay. But I say all this to say sometimes we need to sit down. And I say that because my grandmother raised me on warning comes before destruction. And I actually live by that because if I'm out driving, for example, and someone cuts me off or something happens and I have to do a maneuver and I'm like, okay, what's going on? It pops in my head. That was your warning. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're distracted about, pay attention to the road. And that's my warning before destruction. So when that happens, I use that through my entire life. Um, so I said, okay, well, um, I said to my partner, I did say to my partner, he said to me, do you think this is Christmas night at this time? And he's like, do you think there was a reason that this happened to keep us home? And I said, what? Because he repeated the same thing that my cousin Latoya said to me, and two other friends that are not friends said to me. So it hit hard. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we do just need to sit down. And I said, you know what, to him? I said, we're all together. It's five of us that are saying the same thing. And there may be some truth to that. And I said, you know what? What came to me was maybe it's not per se my household. It could be my cousin's household, meaning if we canceled and stayed home, then they canceled and stayed home. So if we weren't on the roads, they weren't on the roads. So you don't know who it was for, what it was about, but whatever it was, it shut everything down. Okay, it was a shutdown. I was almost embarrassed to be this age and to know so much and to be shut down and defeated by a key fob. I even attempted to even call rental places to rent a car for a day or two nothing was working. Everything I tried for AAA to send two tow trucks to you and still wouldn't be able to help you. They were embarrassed. That's why they sent something as soon as early in the morning on Christmas morning. They sent someone. Okay. So Christmas morning is over. Over. So now it's time to where BMW said on Thursday that they'll be able to send someone with their equipment. So they did. They sent someone I would say maybe by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, everything was done. They had got in my driveway, they programmed the cars, and it took like 2.5 hours to do it, but they did everything, and that was that. Um, and I think that sometimes we, excuse me, need to pay attention to what's going on around us. And if too many things are happening, if you have something planned, and I know everything is not going to stop us, but if so many stupid obstacles coming your way. That's what I mean. Little silly things. Like, for instance, you're leaving and you go to lock your house door and your key break off. Or you go outside and there's a flat. Or no matter what you do, you're running late. Every obstacle is dropping in front of you, and you're like, what is going on? That might be your warning before destruction. So take heed to it. And I mean, I'm not saying everything is destruction and some everyone's out to get us. It's not that. But sometimes we can save ourselves from a lot of heartbreak, issues, whatever it is, by just listening sometime and sitting down. And when the obstacles become so high and it's not real, because like it didn't kill us to stay home for Christmas. We just wanted to be out for whatever different reasons. But if all these things just keep happening, it's time to sit down and just stop, to be quiet. And it was great. It wound up being a very no frills Christmas for us, really. But again, we're blessed because the real gift was waking up on Christmas. So many didn't. We did. We were in those numbers. So that first was the blessing and the gift. And don't forget that part. So many people didn't wake up on Christmas morning. So I was glad I was one of those that did. And so now we're on Friday. So he gets his key fob for Thursday, so everything gets moving. Friday morning, I'm on the phone with the couple, or one of the couple, one person of the couple that went out, that invited us out to dinner that night, the night before. And they were telling me about their dinner and everything, whatever, whatever. And I'm on the phone with them. I'm like, while I'm on the phone with them, let me go. No, I had put some laundry in the basement. Put some laundry in to be washed. So it alerts me on my phone when my machine is done and everything. And I just got so wrapped up in the conversation. So I'm on the phone with him, and I go down to the basement and I'm taking clothes out of the washing machine. And one of my socks fall. And when my sock fall, and I bend down to pick it, what do I find? Go ahead, don't worry, I'll wait. His key fob. What we thinking happened is he had the thing, like he tried to do a lot of things at one time. Meaning, if we're going out food shopping, he'll say, "Okay, we're going food shopping. Let me throw some clothes in the machine, and then when I get back, I'll take them out and do whatever." Well, that's what he did. We believe. We believe he put some clothes in the machine on that Saturday before he went to the mall, and when he came back from the mall, when he came in, he went straight to the basement to get the clothes to finish them off. And that's where the key fob fell off of the key while he was reaching and moving around with the laundry. And if you would have gone down, when I say tore this house up, we tore this house up. Okay. This house has 3 floors. We tore this house up. Our house has 3 floors minus the basement. Okay. We never went in the basement. We never, I was like, when were we in the basement? Really? We weren't down there. So again, I think that was God stopping us for whatever reason, or and just stopping whatever it was that He didn't want us involved in or being a witness to. And that's me and my cousins and the bishop. Again, I love you guys. I want to be able to do more story times. I have a lot of experience. I've been through some things. I have home invasions. I've been in a home invasion. I've been in car chases where people were trying to actually kill us. I have story time. So if you want some story times and it can open you up more to me as a person and see how I do things, great. Just let me know. Please leave a message. Leave me some comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos. I love you guys. I want you guys to be intentional. I want you guys to be in the know, focused, We know that we are about to have a new inauguration with a new president coming in. We know those things. And I think I'm going to do another video, maybe today or in the morning, to give you some other stories I came across to get back to our regular. But I want to do story times where it's just about me and you, and we get to know one another, hopefully. Okay? I love you guys. Until next time, be intentional.